Saturday morning gym session done and seeing progress across a number of lifts. My close grip pull down, i.e. a chin up on a lat pull down machine. I increased the weight by 5 kilograms and managed 3 sets of 8, which I'm really happy with. And on my narrow stance back squat, also going up 2.5 kilograms in weight there. So a really good gym session this morning and feeling fit. This afternoon is yet another wedding, my 5th of the year. And so don't know how training is going to go tomorrow, whether I'll turn up to a session or not, how hungover. Depends how much I enjoy this wedding today. So we'll see how training goes this weekend. But glad to have gotten a gym session in this morning before today's wedding. And yeah, perhaps a session tomorrow, maybe not, unsure. Let's see. Party Dave might take over, and as a result means that Sporty Dave, yeah, gets tempered a little bit in that sense. Sunday afternoon and feeling a tad fragile after yesterday's wedding, and as a result I will not be conducting any swim training today. Probably had it within me if I really wanted to go, but don't really want to overexert myself and risk getting ill at this stage of the game with only, well, less than 4 weeks to go until the start of nationals. So I think the better course of action is go for a nice walk, get out in the fresh air, revitalise and re-energise myself, and then we can get right back to it tomorrow. So no swim training session today, going for a walk instead, and we're going to start hitting things hard tomorrow. I've made a decision now that that wedding is out of the way, that there's going to be no more alcohol until Masters Nationals. Going to try and do a sober October, but starting a little bit early because, yeah, 2 days of September aren't going to provide any significance, and there'll be school nights. So again, not the best time to have alcohol anyway. So going to go for a sober October in the build up to Nationals, just to make sure that I'm feeling fresh. Don't risk myself getting ill, because I think 7 out of the past 10 times I've been ill, there's usually been alcohol preceding whenever I'm feeling sick. So it just, yeah, stops you from getting a good night's sleep, and as a result means your immune system isn't as strong as it normally is. So just going to start taking things nice and easy, be sensible over the course of October, and then maybe once that's done, start enjoying things as we build up to Christmas. But getting there, Nationals is only 4 weeks away now, so probably have to start being a little bit sensible in that regard. Don't really have anything big to celebrate over the course of October, so yeah, just going to keep it sensible, finish well to the end of October, and put myself in the best place for Masters Nationals. Monday morning swim time could definitely have done with some more sleep, but we need to get back on the train in the build up to Nationals. So off we go once more, fingers crossed for a smooth 4 weeks in the build up to Nationals. Monday morning session done, and quite a large sprint focus, but sadly not feeling all that up to it this morning, probably because I had a lot to drink on Saturday night, and as a result I'm still recovering. My body is still recovering and getting back into just feeling like itself once more. So unable to go 13s off a 25 from a push, managed a 14, but yeah, disappointed and a little bit scared really in that sense. Hopefully I haven't deteriorated too much. The scale this morning, the number on it was rather scary for me. Somehow managed to put on 3 kilograms over the course of a weekend. However, I know that most of that will be food weight, water weight, and will come off quickly once more, but really just wanting to lock down in hard with my health habits in the build up to Nationals. So that means going to bed on time, keeping a consistent sleep routine, eating healthily, getting lots of vegetables, lots of protein, lowering it on the carbohydrates, or at least the simple carbohydrates in the short term, as we get closer to nationals, I want to build up my glycogen stores so that I have lots of energy going into each race. So there'll come a point where I will start to build the carbohydrates back up again. But at this point in time, keep it low, try and burn off as much excess weight as I can going into the build up to nationals, so that I am got the highest power to weight ratio that I've got going into the competition. And then once it hits competition time, getting those glycogen stores back up. So not the best of discipline from me over this weekend, and it's showing in this morning's swim training session. However, what's done is done. Just need to get on and back to it now, and just, yeah, do as well as I can in the build up to nationals. And as I say, part of that is going to be going sober for October. So then we'll be getting high quality sleep each and every night, hopefully. Just need to be careful not to eat too much before going to bed. And so I'll be going into it nice, fresh, recovered and raring to go. So today is Tuesday afternoon, and the plan this morning was to go for the regular gym session. However, on the basis that my 8-month-old got both me and my wife up twice each in the middle of the night last night, when it came to getting up for said gym session, I was nowhere near being in the mood to go and do it. I was feeling a little bit tired yesterday, and as a result went to bed early. And even still, that wasn't enough when my alarm went off. Because of those wake-ups, I did not have the energy to go and do that gym session. So a day off today in that sense. A little bit frustrated, but it is what it is. I'm also feeling a little bit not quite there, so maybe a rest is needed just in general, so that I'm still able to hit things hard. But a little bit frustrating because, as I said yesterday, really wanting to hit things hard once more in the build up to nationals, but just seem to keep hitting speed bumps and not quite being able to get into the zone. However, we'll just draw a line under this one today. Fingers crossed we can start hitting things again tomorrow in the morning swim set. Wednesday morning, and we're back in the pool. Wednesday morning swim session actually went really well. Really happy with my session today. Focused largely on sprinting. Naturally, most sessions do, as I'm trying to improve at my 50 freestyle. However, a bit more of a focus on sprinting as opposed to other aspects like underwater leg kick and all that gubbins. So yeah, it comprised today of 4 lots of, first off, 130 meter sprint, coming essentially 125 and then pushing off from the wall, going absolute max. That's on a swim and rest of 1 minute. Then go 30 meters, essentially stay at the flags, 5 meters into the wall, 25 back out. Again on 1 minute, and then followed up by some rest. All of that 4 times through, which yeah, just got the blood pumping, and also working on turns as well, which I feel is good, because that's the one aspect of the 50 free, or for me, the most dangerous aspect of the 50 free, getting that turn right. So going full speed into the wall, getting that turn off, and then those underwaters into the second length, just practicing those, I find really beneficial for me, just to nail the technique of that and get used to the feeling of that, especially in the build up to any competition, where we're now less than 4 weeks away to nationals. So very important that I get that in. And then what I enjoyed the most is that this session finished on a 50 meter max sprint from a push with fins on, and probably pushing a high 26, which I was really impressed with. In reality, it was probably a low 27. That's 27 seconds, should I say. I looked up at the clock maybe a little bit earlier than I should do, so maybe just a bit of cheating in that. However, yeah, definitely felt as though I wasn't quite in gear for the entirety of the 50 meters, which probably means that I could have gotten a little bit more. a little bit more time off of that. So yeah, I think I could be pushing a low 26, which is really impressive because I've never gone a 26 before. I only went a 27 for the first time on a 50 max with fins on, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. So again, showing progress, shows that I'm getting faster in the pool. And yeah, it's just feeling really good. So hopefully that will translate into my actual 50 meters freestyle time. But yeah, really going well with the sprinting at the moment. And again, those concerns of a bad start to the week put to rest somewhat. Just feeling a little bit under the weather, needed to recover after poor discipline at the wedding. But yeah, things seem to be back on track now. And with my ambition to maintain sober for the rest of the month in the build up to nationals, and hopefully by eating sensibly, it means that I'm going to get no more of those sessions where my fitness and recovery is just going to be nice and consistent going into nationals. So fingers crossed about that. Good session this morning. Thursday morning gym session, and it's gotten to that time of year where I'm arriving at the gym and the pool in the dark. So a little bit less motivation going into these sessions as we build up to nationals. Need to stay strong and fight hard for every single last game. So a really good Thursday morning gym session. Biggest win of note is my ISO lunge holds, where I managed to hold 24 kilograms in each hand and get 3 sets of 30 seconds held for each leg. For this, it's really weird because my failing point isn't typically my legs, rather my forearms, because they can't hold the weight for that long, where I've been stuck on 22 kilograms for a while in each hand. However, managed to hold on through with the 24 for 3 sets of 30 seconds on each side, so 6 lots of 30 seconds. So fingers crossed that's doing my forearms a load of good, as well as my legs. Also getting better at holding a dip in the low position, something that I really struggle with. The exercise is meant to be up to 30 seconds, but I'm just about getting three lots of 19. Reverse Oliver twist hangs, which is essentially a dead hang, but you've got chin up grip as opposed to a pull-up grip where you're just hanging in the bottom of a chin-up position essentially for as long as you can. Didn't do quite as well on the third set today. Tried to push my first 2 sets a little bit longer, but I think that meant I fatigued and couldn't quite hold the third one for as long. But nonetheless, a really good gym session today. Super excited. So just club session, dive session now to finish off this week's training. It's not been the best weeks of training. Missed my Tuesday gym session. Didn't do a swim session on Sunday. So 2 out of the 7 sessions missed, but due to various reasons. But hopefully now it will be nice, smooth sailing all the way into nationals, where as of tomorrow, it'll only be 3 weeks away. Very scary times, but fingers crossed, can make myself going into it feeling fit and fresh, so that, yeah, fingers crossed we come out with a personal best or 2. So Friday afternoon and a decent training session with the club last night. Again, as I said, focusing on dives. Only managed to get about 8 or so dives in, with a few failures here and there, but overall feeling good with my dives. And one thing that I've just been thinking about recently is that I seem to go just as fast from a push than I do from a dive. Logically, that shouldn't be the case, but whether it's just because I'm able to get my setup correctly with body positioning better from a push than a dive, it means that I'm quicker from a push. I don't actually have any data to support that feeling, but it's just something that you know is a doubt in the back of my head. Am I actually quicker from a push now than I am from a dive, which is a really weird situation to be in. But nonetheless, no, dives going well. Went a 31-1 50 meters free from a dive. However, I was really fatigued at that point and breathed several times. I can tell how tired I am in a 50 meters free, judging by the number of times that I feel the need to breathe down the final length. And I'm pretty sure it was 3 or more, which just tells me that I was absolutely at the end of my energy reserves for that 50 free, and probably didn't give it my all down that last length either. So whilst, yeah, not a great boost to the confidence, at the same time, you know, it's very clear that I was really tired for that 50 free, and therefore going in fresh that time should be a lot quicker. And I think that's the frustrating thing about only being able to train my dives on a Thursday evening, is that I just feel completely fatigued from everything that's happened over the course of the week, and just over the course of the day I'm training as I would normally gear up to go to bed on any other day, and as a result I just feel completely knackered going into the session. So it's really hard to judge to what extent I'm doing well or badly in the training, and to what extent I'm just feeling really tired and unable to give a good performance. So really wish that I could do some dive training in the morning, but based on pool rules and the fact that I've got to do dives with a club, yeah, that's the only option available to me. It also doesn't help that I'm practicing dives really tired, and therefore it's hard to focus on what I'm doing as much, but nonetheless we got to make do with what we have. So decent training session last night, good to finish the week on a high/well, getting those training sessions in, and now it's time for a hopefully nice and relaxing weekend. It's the first weekend where I haven't got an awful lot on or much to do, so I'm going to lap that up as much as I can and get some recovery in to smash what will probably be my final week of full-on training before starting my taper the week after. So things feel a bit weird at the moment, but I've had a lot on recently, and hopefully things are going to slow down in the build up to nationals. So looking forward to just getting some rest, having a bit of breathing space, getting some energy back, and yeah, just putting myself in a good condition, conditioning myself well in the build up to nationals, which will hopefully mean that I get some good times. So fingers crossed. Yeah, going to be a nice relaxing weekend. Otherwise, not a lot to report on the swimming front, just hunkering down and getting ready for nationals. That is it for today's video, and if you've enjoyed it, please give it a like. Remember to follow and subscribe for more swimming content, and to swim faster on limited training time, head on over to westcough.com. Otherwise, see you in the next video.